welcome to Americans Learn. My name is Lauren, and today I am looking at a video by future Canoe. It's called Unusual Things to Deep Fry. The thumbnail had Coke. I've had a couple of deep fried items, such are maybe like the strangest deep fried item I think I've ever had is like an Oreo, though. So like this is not a place that I go very often. The deep fryification of objects to be eaten. But I'm curious to see what they're gonna find to deep fry and like if I think it looks any good. So, looking forward to it. We'll see. This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the most convenient website builder and hosting platform, and I love it. There are 3 categories of cooking methods: wet, dry, and combination. So what does deep frying qualify as? Apparently it's a form of wet cooking, because when the chicken is enclosed by oil, the moisture inside steams itself, so essentially it's a form of steaming, hence the crispy exterior and the tender center. I never knew that before. I thought deep frying is popular because Americans have the innate love for oil, but it's actually a great cooking technique if you can look past the whole health life thing. Today we're not just being weird, these are actually famous deep fried food that's a little unconventional. Among the 3 famous batters, we'll start with the standard breading procedure of flour, egg, and panko. For the egg, I don't know if you guys seen one of those TikTok videos where people drop an egg into a pan and it cracks perfectly.
Apparently, if you drop an egg into a pan, it will crack perfectly.
So I'm gonna try it here.
Huh. Sick.
Perfectly my ass. After having these 3 components,
so many shells in there. Also, what a waste of egg at a time when eggs are like $13 a dozen or whatever. I don't know. I don't eat eggs, so I don't actually know how much they cost, but I know it's a lot, and it's unfortunate for people who do eat eggs.
Ready, we'll get to the first recipe of the day: avocado fries. Why does this avocado look green and hard like Piccolo's head, you ask? Well, I went to the grocery store and this is what I saw. I picked the best looking one. I must say though, I never had an avocado with green juice coming out of it. This is literally harder than peeling garlic. So after they're
what are they supposed? I mean, just brown maybe? I've seen them look brownish, but green is the color that I'm used to. Do America have weird avocados?
They're in pieces. We'll coat it in flour, dip it in eggs, and cover it with panko. Spoiler alert, this step is not getting old anytime soon. While we're doing that, we're gonna pour in and heat up our oil. We're using a lot of oil today. To avoid waste, I'm gonna teach you later how to reuse oil by filtering it. When it hits 350, we can drop in our fries. At first, it'll sink to the bottom and it'll float up. We'll take it out of the oil when it's nice and golden. You're gonna hear this phrase a lot in this episode, but I'll try my best.
It does sound good though. Oof, the ketchup? Why are you ruining it with ketchup? Something like, I don't know, aioli or something on there. Something spicy. Like, oof, ketchup. I hate ketchup so much. I don't know why, I just do. I have witnessed frying stuff, like deep fry in action. I've worked in a food truck. And we all learned how to fry, but then I decided I would rather do math badly outside of the food truck, so I became a cashier instead of staying inside the food truck. And I did exactly that. I did math badly because all we had was like a little tray for the money and a cardboard box that went over the tray, and then people would give us their bills and order stuff, and we try to do the math, and it didn't always work out so great. Especially because what they would do would be like, they'd give me $40 and order like a $10 item, a $5 item, and another $5 item, and then they'd say, give me 12 back or something. I'm like, what? No, that's too much math when I don't have a computer or a phone that can do math. Also, there's like 100 people in this line and I have to do it really quickly, so I definitely don't have time to do calculator anything, and it was fine. Point is, I learned how to fry at one point and I refused to do it.
The benefit of having an unripe avocado is that it held its shape really well throughout the cooking process.
Okay.
I thought it was gonna be a flavorless piece of goo enclosed by a crispy shell, but it's actually a flavorful piece of goo enclosed by a crispy shell.
That's good.
Avocado has been repeatedly impressing me lately. 8 out of 10.
Alright, avocado.
So when I say fried garlic, you must be thinking one of those crispy, thinly sliced ones on top of a salad or a noodle. But this recipe today is going to be fried whole garlic. We're going to start by blanching it in boiling salted water to soften the flavor and the texture. Then we'll coat them in flour, dip it in egg, and cover with panko. They kind of look like little chicken nuggets.
They do! That sounds like it would be so good.
So we're just trying to cook the exterior. Looking pretty golden brown. Let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. This is impressive. I thought the garlic flavor is going to be too strong, but it's actually mild. When you bite into it, the texture of the center kind of tastes like chicken. I'll show you the cross section real quick. It tastes so good that it almost tastes like somebody swapped them out for Chick-fil-A nuggets. So I'll give these fried garlic a 9 out of 10. As many of you may remember, we've done this before.
Too much leftover milk? Deep fry your milk.
Too much leftover milk? Maybe my dad's back. The last time we overcooked it a little bit, and apparently you're not supposed to dip it in maple syrup, which is my answer to everything. I'm not Canadian, by the way. I love maple syrup because America makes the best ones. My dad's still not back, so I added 2 cups of my roommate's milk, as much sugar as you want, and then 60 grams of cornstarch. I think it's half a cup or so. We'll put it on medium-low heat and keep stirring it until it gets nice and thick.
Just with a spatula?
After that, we'll transfer it to a greased Tupperware, smooth it out a little bit, into the freezer till it sets. It should be pretty quick, an hour and a half or so. My freezer is currently at its full power, so it's set in 45 minutes.
Whoa!
Into long, thick strips to resemble mozzarella sticks, and just follow up with the standard breading procedure.
But it's just milk?
I don't know why, but this looks kind of funny for some reason.
This would kill me.
Don't touch them at first.
I would die.
Let it fry on 350 for 2 to 3 minutes.
So much
what we're doing here is just cooking the outside to give it a nice color. Last time we overcooked it a little bit, so it became a little rubbery. This is looking pretty good, so a total of 3 minutes. After frying the cornstarch mixture, the inside should be very nice and creamy. Sort of like gelatin, but it doesn't bounce. It kind of just melts in your mouth.
Weird.
Is that a hair I didn't notice?
Yes. Oh, it just eats it.
Definitely executed pretty well today. But to improve from the maple syrup dip, today I made a caramel sauce to go with it. Deep fried milk covered in warm buttered caramel. Do you guys have funding for a food truck? Because we're about to be rich with this one. Let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10.
I wouldn't be able to eat it though.
I apologize for that display of emotion. It's just the crispy on the outside, creamy on the inside fried milk, dipping in sweet and salty caramel sauce. The overall shock in my mouth kind of takes me back to my childhood when I was little. My uncle, he ordered me my first chocolate lava cake of my life. I feel like we only get a few of those moments with food, so to savor this, I'm gonna sing a song. Picture perfect, you don't need no filter.
Okay, good.
Not leaving the theme of State Fair and Holiday Market, we're doing a corn on the cob. This recipe is the easiest
and yes, the food truck I worked at was at a like a farm fair. It wasn't even a state fair. It was like, because there was no rides or anything. It was just like a fair thing that they did, and then it was a Hartford County fair, I think. Anyway, our station was right outside of the tractor pool, so we did a lot of business.
So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. After removing the husks, we'll do the thing.
We'll do the thing.
Something like that, we'll start frying it.
Okay. I wish I could eat more fried food. I can only eat like 3 bites of anything that's like super fried like that.
It's totally cooked. I guess butter isn't always the best companion for corn. Sometimes it's the standard breading procedure. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. But you know what's the best companion for chasing your dream?
Over 25.
A tool to help you build website with no
Don't turn over 25 because you'll stop being able to eat fried food.
It's seamless.
It's too much oil. It's too much egg, I guess.
Especially with their AI-powered design intelligence feature. As you can see here, all you need to do is input preferences, and it customizes the layout and the structure of the site perfectly for you. It pretty much does all the work, so I don't really need to worry about it too much. If you need to monetize, you can sell products, manage payments all in one place. Onboarding is simple, letting you accept payments quickly with popular methods like Apple Pay and Klarna. You can check it out at squarespace.com/futurecanoe. Use code FutureCanoe for 10% off your first website or domain purchase. If you have a business or a dream, Squarespace is a great tool to help you succeed online. I've linked all the info down in the description for you.
Ooh, I've heard of deep fried pizza.
What's the opposite of a steamed broccoli, you ask? It is a deep fried pizza.
Yes, it is.
Because it's already frozen for days and everything should stick together.
Cool. I have heard of deep fried pizza. That is a
So when I first drop it in, it floats. I guess there's a lot of air in the dough. I'm afraid that the top part isn't gonna get fried, so I push it down a little. What happens here is that I guess the ice melts from the cheese and it starts like overflowing.
Oh no! Yep.
The occasional bubbles over here gets out and sometimes on my hand. The only answer to this is
this is why don't freeze ice or fry anything icy. Like I feel like that was a poor mistake. I think you should have done a chilled one and not a frozen one.
Turning up the heat and commit to the pain.
Turn up the heat and commit to the pain.
Here we have our Friday special, the heartbreaker.
That just feels like America.
The cardiac arrest, tackling the ticker. Artery cloggety, the batter late than healthy, fried and prejudiced.
Oh my god, batter late. That's a Bob's Burger name for a batter late than healthy for sure.
Fulminator. Destructo disc of heart disease list, the batter of no tomorrow, fry heart 2, harder day, the vein drain delight, the mutts are rejecting my salad, Batman, the artery tightening returns. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Okay. Moving on to our next category likes most of frying, these. The batter of tempura. People do say that is the healthiest form of frying because it soaks up very little oil, so if you use a good quality, it doesn't even feel greasy afterwards. And to
probably a lie.
Tempura batter will start with 1 egg, 3/4 cup sparkling water, and 1/4 cup vodka. I told you before my dad's not back yet, so I don't have vodka, so I just did a whole cup of sparkling water. To that we'll add 3/4 cup of flour and half a cup of potato starch. This is what's gonna make it very flaky. I wouldn't recommend replacing it with cornstarch because it's just not the same. Cornstarch is more of a thickening agent. Potato starch is where the frying comes in. Hence, you fry potatoes and make creamed corn. Again, this next recipe, you see the name, you're like, oh, a fried egg. I have it every morning with my bacon.
Deep frying
deep fried raw egg that we've done before.
Step 1, freeze your eggs until rock solid like this.
And because my freezer was broken at the time, I couldn't freeze the egg completely. Peel.
You fucked up.
Fry at 320 degrees Fahrenheit for 7 minutes. They're gonna look just like this. Nice, jammy, interior, jammy egg. Now that the freezer is fixed, we're gonna reattempt it by freezing raw egg overnight. This time the egg is definitely rock solid. I soaked in some water and peeled it. It took me so long. It kind of looks like a hard-boiled egg. We'll coat some flour into the batter and fry at 350 for 7 minutes. Inside, liquid cold egg. Outside,
that looks like an alien
It's a recipe
egg.
for explosions. I learned from my childhood favorite YouTuber, Crazy Russian Hacker. Safety is number one priority. I'm gonna take it out now because the inside is running out and I'm starting to hear exploding sounds. It looks pretty close to the original. Let's cut it open to see if the inside is actually jammy. I'm not sure it's undercooked or the egg is low quality. It seems like the egg yolk is completely heated up, but there's like a ball of water coming out of the egg yolk. But there are also coagulated egg white around the surface. So let's give it a taste real quick.
Very strange.
I didn't spit it out, by the way. This is just what's dripping from the inside. I guess the moisture from the egg white just got trapped inside. So glad I took it out when I did. Otherwise, an explosion is definitely coming. Another failure.
That would have been fun to watch.
Okay, we'll attempt it again. The oil's getting a little dirty, so after these next 2 dishes, we're gonna switch it out. Over here, we have a box of grocery store sushi. The only other thing that's comparable in sketchiness is a line at the bathroom of the club from Strangers, which is perfect for deep frying because we don't feel bad about wasting sushi and it sanitizes it. We'll take it out once it takes shape. This looks like fried Oreos, which we'll do later.
I haven't had grocery store sushi in a long time.
Let's give it a taste.
Since college, probably.
It doesn't really taste like sushi anymore. Probably originally didn't taste like sushi either. Since the tuna is cooked, it kind of tastes like a sandwich, like a tuna salad sandwich.
Boring.
This is the first recipe today that wasn't improved by deep frying, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of
dull. I saw
dull.
this video on YouTube of a vegan pork cutlet that's supposed to taste just like meat. It's by Table Diary over here. So basically, they cut enoki mushroom into these patties, fry them, and
it's a mushroom.
Like it does kind of look like meat. It looks like scallop though.
Oh my god, that's so weird looking. All right. I mean, again, we're talking about aliens. Like, the eggs looked kind of alien, so let's put the, that looked so weird. It looked like alien lungs or something.
Can't tell. I'm not a 9-year-old girl, so I don't have a rubber band. I'm gonna use foil to wrap it up.
Sir.
Put some water on it. And
why would 9-year-old girls have rubber bands, just in general? Also, I'm not a 9-year-old girl, but I literally have a rubber band, like, within reach of me. I don't have a hair. Oh, I do have a hair tie. Maybe he meant hair tie, but like, I also have one of those near me.
freeze it for at least an hour. The mushroom definitely froze and took shape, but I'm afraid that it's gonna fall apart if I cut it. I'm just drop it in whole and then maybe cut it later. We'll fry 6 minutes total, 3 minutes on each side. We'll just warm it up. Enoki mushroom doesn't take that long to cook, I feel like.
I also don't eat
mushrooms,
but that's a choice.
doesn't really look like meat. And the taste is even further. The worst part is I think I left a spot of dirt in it. I'm a little biased because I like any type of fried mushroom, so I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't recommend it though. It doesn't taste that good. My favorite
He's like, I don't like it, but I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Called Fish Cheeks. I like to clap for how good their chicken wings are. They call this the Zab wings, which is so accurate because when you bite into it, your mouth goes zap.
That looks amazing.
What I'm trying to say is it's crispy, acidic, and very flavorful. Today I got some chicken wings over here. We're gonna try to recreate this at home. I don't have a recipe or anything, so I'm gonna do what I usually do best, pulling things out of my, activate logic Canoe. Marinade should be pretty simple, just salt and acid. Ran out of rice wine vinegar, so I'm gonna do this Greek white wine vinegar. The design of the packaging is so weird. There's like a little tip over here. It won't let me squeeze out, and I can't even open the cap. Whatever, I'm just gonna cut the tip. Why would you make something this hard to open? Also do a little bit of sake. There's definitely fish sauce in the recipe, I feel like, but it's too early in the morning right now. I don't want to get a sniff of that. We'll just coat it with a tiny bit of cornstarch and let it marinate for a few hours to overnight. In the picture, it looks like it just raw dogged the oil, but the surface is so crispy, I suspect there's a little bit of starch on top. The oil is looking dirtier than ever. Let's just fry these up and we'll change it. These should cook pretty quickly, like under 10 minutes. Once in a while, just check on its internal temperature.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass it like Stockton.
I think in the restaurant they use ascorbic acid to season at the end, so it keeps the crispiness. But we're just gonna have to make do with lime and salt. Looking pretty close to the real thing. Let's see how it tastes. It's actually good. It got that zab thing going on. The amount of acidity is reminding me of a chicken adobo, but fried. Plus, also look how juicy it is.
I want to eat that. I want to eat that so bad.
To cover desserts, we're gonna make sort of like a funnel cake or apple fritter. Should be versatile enough. A cup and a half of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of applesauce. I'm gonna replace with yogurt, half a cup of milk, and 2 eggs. Let's actually add a little bit of vanilla.
This is a bad video to watch.
Because the baking powder, once encounters heat, it's gonna help other ingredients bind. First one on the list, of course, gotta be a fried Oreo, just like those from Ray's candy store. But to go above and beyond, we're gonna cover it with these thick boys, and we're gonna double stuff it with double stuffed Oreo. It's a little hard to take shape because the bacon is really thick, so we're just gonna freeze it a little bit. Clean oil, frozen Oreo. Oh no!
Why are you putting bacon in it?
And fry it.
Ruin the Oreo.
While these two are going, I also did just like a single Oreo just to see what the original tastes like. Look at the massive size on the bacon one, almost as big as a burger. Oh my God. Like anything I would not be able to eat that at all. Gotta powder it up. Let's cut it and give it a cross-section inspection. Look how crazy that looks. My heart is already beating very fast, so let's dip it in some more powdered sugar and give it a taste rated 1 through 10.
That's crazy.
My life is flashing before my eyes, not only because it's incredibly satisfying, I think my body is also telling me to take it easy on this stuff. It's stuff like this that reminds me that dopamine hits are better than longevity. I'll give it a nice
I like that though.
The normal Oreo is also pretty fire. I think I made it better than Ray's. So is deep fried bacon and Oreo healthy, you ask? Everything's relative, and the answer will be yes compared to this next item. Deep fried monkey fighting butter. It's a famous southern dish that I've heard a lot about. We'll cut the butter into pieces, freeze it, and then just carry out the same procedures as before.
Seems like a lot. Seems like a lot, Robin.
What I'm concerned about is that butter composed of a lot of water. When it starts releasing into the hot oil, my face might be in danger. Once it starts sounding scary, we should probably take it out.
Fair.
And I'm also afraid that the residual heat is gonna melt the butter completely, so I'm gonna stick it back into the freezer for a little bit. And when it freezes again, we'll double batter it and fry it one more time. It kind of looks like a potato now.
It does look like a potato.
This one only battered once and is frozen. My first stick of fried butter, very satisfying. Eating butter seems gross on paper, but it's so nice. This is the double fried one. It's dripping a lot. Should have frozen longer. The inside, guys, just melts in your mouth like butter. And the flavors of the whey really comes through. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Deep frying is the answer to everything, even jelly beans. The last time I had jelly beans was back in high school biology when we did that experiment of how you can't tell the flavor by holding your breath. I honestly can't remember what they taste like. We'll just mix that into the batter like an apple fritter and drop it into the fryer. It's puffing up immediately. We probably don't want to cook this one for too long. Sorta looks like one of those 7-Eleven apple fritters, and it actually looks kind of good.
I was thinking it kind of looks like a Buddha's hand or something.
I was fully expecting to spit it out. The flavors of the jelly bean is so refreshing and has a nice sticky contrast in texture to the crispy and soft dough. It's like a jelly bean toast, well incorporated.
Did he do all of these like I hope he didn't do all of these in one kind of prep all in one day and then do it all in one. I hope he spent several days doing this, essentially. This is a lot of fried nonsense.
Not that I had a jelly bean toast or anything. The concept does seem more appealing to me now. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Here's the very creepy Pillsbury Doughboy offering us his generous white ass raw. These pieces are too small. We're gonna make a real piece by combining 2 of them and freeze them overnight. With the same batter as before, we'll drop it in. This time I'm gonna fry it very quickly because I like the inside of the dough very runny.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Medium rare cooking better than this. Maybe dipping in some more powdered sugar.
That looks good.
No need to explain anything here. Best dessert so far, 9.5 out of 10. We're done with the dessert batter. Let's use it up by reducing Coca-Cola. The original taste, of course.
Hot Coke, yum.
The sugar 1.5 ingredients carbonated may color caramel color acidity regulator natural flavor may color origin.
What is he making? I'm confused. It's like fried Coke. Fried Coke with powdered sugar.
This is like a really popular street food in Massachusetts, I think. A lot of people put whipped cream on top, but let's just taste it with powdered sugar. It doesn't really taste like Coke anymore. It just tastes like a donut. The Coca-Cola syrup, though, drizzled on top, really takes it to another level. The original taste is unbeatable. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. The last recipe is from the
6 out of 10, but he wrote 5 out of 10.
Bayashi. It's basically like a low-effort, low-budget cannoli made from rigatoni. It looks very legit, so let's give it a try. First, we'll drop in the biggest rigatoni I can find. In terms of how long to fry them, I don't know, it's raw pasta, so I guess once they turn dark, it's edible. And for the filling, Bayashi did a whipped cream and mascarpone, and to replace that, we're gonna use whipped cream cheese. Put it in a Ziploc bag and pipe cream into tubes. Dust some powdered sugar on top. Let's give it a taste and read 1 through 10. The last recipe of the day.
I like a cream cheese film.
It's definitely not bad, but immediately it took on some iron taste because the roof of my mouth is bleeding. The pasta got so hard, which reminds me I need to make an appointment with my dentist. My execution is a little questionable, but Bayashi's recipe looks perfect. Anyways, my house smelled like McDonald's for the past 3 days, so that was pretty fun. But I'm glad we learned that everything can be improved by deep frying. It's okay to indulge once in a while, and I hope we can all find balance in life. Alright, thank you.
Okay, wow. That was nuts. Some of those looked really, really good, and some of them looked, pretty terrible. So, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. And you know what? I hope that you enjoyed it as well. I don't know. I don't do a lot of food stuff. I should do more food stuff, even though it does make me hungry almost every single time, and half the food I can't eat anyway. But anyway, I liked that, and now I want to eat some lunch and maybe a fried chicken, even though I can't. It's fine. I will see you all in the next one.